Hey, food fanatics! Welcome to our countdown of the 10 weirdest things people around the world eat. Get ready to be amazed and maybe a little grossed out. You know me, I've traveled the globe seeking out the most unusual culinary experiences, from wriggling larvae to fermented fish. And let me tell you, the world of food is full of surprises. So buckle up, Buttercup, because we're about to dive into a smorgasbord of the strange and stomach-churning. You might want to put down that snack, trust me. Alright folks, let's kick things off in the Philippines with a street food delicacy that'll really test your limits. Balut. Imagine cracking open a duck egg, but instead of a yolk, you find a partially developed duck embryo, feathers and all. Yep, you heard that right. Balut is considered a true delicacy in the Philippines, often enjoyed as an afternoon snack or even a late-night treat. Vendors sell them from street carts, steaming hot and ready to eat. Now, I know what you're thinking. There's no way I'm putting that in my mouth. But trust me, the flavor is surprisingly savory, with hints of chicken and duck broth. It's the texture that takes some getting used to. You've got crunchy bones, soft feathers, and a slightly gamey broth. It's an explosion of textures, that's for sure. But hey, isn't that what adventurous eating is all about? Stepping outside your comfort zone and trying something new? Balut is definitely not for the faint of heart, but it's a true testament to the diversity of global cuisine. Next up, we're heading to the beautiful island of Sardinia, Italy, where they take their cheese to a whole new level of funky. I'm talking about casu marzu, the cheese that's literally crawling with live maggots. This traditional Sardinian sheep milk cheese is intentionally infested with cheese fly larvae, which break down the fats in the cheese, giving it a particularly soft, creamy texture. And when I say soft, I mean almost liquefied. Now here's where it gets interesting, or disgusting, depending on your perspective. The maggots are considered an essential part of the flavor profile, adding a certain pungency to the cheese. Some people scoop them out before eating, while others embrace the wriggly little critters. And let me tell you, these maggots are jumpy. They can launch themselves up to 6 inches, so be prepared to catch them in your mouth. Casu marzu is definitely not for everyone, and it's actually considered illegal to sell commercially due to health concerns. From cheesy maggots to fermented shark, our culinary journey takes us to Iceland, where they have a unique way of preserving their food, burying it underground and letting it rot. Hakkarl is a traditional Icelandic dish made from Greenland shark, which is poisonous to eat fresh due to its high levels of uric acid. So, to make it edible, they bury the shark meat for weeks or even months, allowing it to ferment and develop its signature ammonia-rich aroma. When it's finally dug up, the Hakkarl has a pungent, almost fishy smell that's been compared to cleaning products or even urine. But don't let that deter you. The taste is actually milder than the smell, with a strong, cheesy and slightly nutty flavor. Hakkarl is often served in small cubes, and it's traditionally washed down with a shot of brennivin, a strong Icelandic schnapps. It's an acquired taste, that's for sure, but one that's deeply ingrained in Icelandic culture. Hold on to your chopsticks, folks, because we're about to dive into the world of live octopus with sanokji, a Korean delicacy that's not for the faint of heart. Imagine this, a plate of freshly killed octopus tentacles, chopped into bite-sized pieces, still wriggling and squirming on your plate. That's sanokji. The key to enjoying sanokji is to chew, chew, chew. Those suction cups are still active, and they'll cling to your mouth and throat if you're not careful. It's a true test of your chewing skills and your ability to handle a little bit of movement in your food. Sanokji is often seasoned with sesame oil and sesame seeds, and it's typically enjoyed with a side of soju, a Korean rice liquor. It's a chewy, slightly salty, and surprisingly flavorful dish that's sure to get your adrenaline pumping. Get ready to hold your breath, because we're about to unleash the most pungent food on this list. Surströmming, the fermented herring from Sweden that's known for clearing out rooms with its powerful aroma. This Swedish delicacy is made from Baltic herring that's been fermented for months in barrels, creating a potent smell that's been compared to rotten eggs, sewage, and even a dead animal. It's so strong that it's often eaten outdoors, and some airlines even ban it from their flights. But don't let the smell scare you away. Surströmming is actually a beloved tradition in Sweden, often enjoyed on thin, crispy bread with potatoes, onions, and sour cream. The flavor is surprisingly complex, with a salty, sour, and slightly fishy taste that's both challenging and rewarding. Just be sure to open the can carefully, preferably underwater or in a well-ventilated area. You've been warned. From stinky fish to crunchy critters, our culinary adventure takes us to Mexico, where they have a unique appreciation for edible insects. And I'm not talking about your average cricket flour protein bars, I'm talking about escamoles, the ant larvae that are often referred to as insect caviar. These little larvae are harvested from the roots of agave plants, and they're considered a true delicacy in Mexican cuisine. They have a delicate, slightly nutty flavor, and a soft buttery texture that's similar to cottage cheese. Escamoles are often sautéed with butter, onions and garlic, and they're served in tacos, omelets, or even on their own as a luxurious appetizer. They're a sustainable and surprisingly delicious source of protein, and they're definitely worth trying if you're feeling adventurous. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to enter the realm of arachnid cuisine with fried tarantulas, a popular street food delicacy in Cambodia. These hairy spiders are often deep-fried until crispy and golden brown, and they're seasoned with salt, pepper, and sometimes garlic or chili. The legs are crunchy while the body has a soft, slightly mushy texture. Fried tarantulas are said to have a slightly nutty flavor similar to crab or chicken. They're a good source of protein, and they're surprisingly popular in Cambodia, where they're often sold as snacks at markets and roadside stalls. So, next time you're feeling brave and you're looking for a unique culinary experience, why not give a fried tarantula a try? You might just be surprised at how much you enjoy it. From crunchy spiders to preserved eggs, our culinary journey takes us to China, where they've perfected the art of preserving food for centuries. And I'm not talking about your average pickled cucumbers. I'm talking about century eggs, also known as thousand-year-old eggs, a delicacy that's been enjoyed in China for centuries. These eggs are preserved for weeks or even months in a mixture of clay, ash, salt, quicklime, and rice hulls, which raises the pH and breaks down the proteins in the egg, transforming it into a culinary marvel. The yolk turns a dark green or even black color, while the white becomes a translucent, jelly-like substance. The aroma is pungent, with a strong ammonia scent, but the flavor is surprisingly complex with salty, earthy, and slightly sulfurous notes. Century eggs are often eaten as a snack or appetizer, and they're also used in a variety of dishes such as congee, tofu dishes, and salads. It's an acquired taste, that's for sure, but one that's deeply ingrained in Chinese culinary history. Get ready to pucker up, because we're about to dive into the world of gelatinous delights with jellied moose nose, a traditional Canadian dish that's not for the faint of heart or stomach. This unique dish is made by boiling a moose's nose until the hair can be removed, then boiling it again with onions, garlic, and spices until it forms a gelatinous broth. The broth is then poured into a mold and allowed to cool, creating a wobbly, jiggly delicacy that's sure to test your gag reflex. Jellied moose nose is often served cold, sliced into thin pieces, and enjoyed as a snack or appetizer. It has a unique texture that's both chewy and gelatinous, and the flavor is surprisingly mild, with hints of moose meat, onions, and spices. It's a true testament to the ingenuity and resourcefulness of Canadian cuisine, and it's definitely worth trying if you're looking for a culinary adventure. We're ending our culinary journey with a dish that's sure to make your eyes water, literally, tuna eyeballs, a Japanese delicacy that's as visually striking as it is delicious. These giant eyeballs are often served boiled or steamed, and they're surprisingly affordable, often sold in Japanese supermarkets for just a few dollars. The eyeball itself is surprisingly large, about the size of a ping pong ball, and it's surrounded by muscles and fat that are surprisingly tender and flavorful. Tuna eyeballs are often seasoned with soy sauce, sake, and sugar, and they're typically enjoyed as a snack or appetizer. The flavor is rich, savory, and slightly fatty, with a texture that's similar to squid or octopus. So, next time you're feeling adventurous and you're looking for a unique culinary experience, why not give a tuna eyeball a try? It might just be the most eye-opening meal of your life. Thanks for joining us on this culinary adventure. Which of these weird foods would you dare to try? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating content. Remember, food is more than just sustenance. It's a window into different cultures, traditions, and ways of life. So keep an open mind, a strong stomach, and never be afraid to try something new. Until next time, happy eating.